It takes my damn breath away. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a foundation wear test and review on the Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation. Now, Too Faced has a regular Born This Way foundation. If you're really into makeup or really into beauty YouTube videos, you probably have already seen that foundation. That was not a particular favorite of mine, but when I saw that they had a matte version that just came out, I jumped on it. Primarily because I have really oily skin, so I'm always on the hunt for a good matte foundation that I can wear on its own. I am a foundation freak. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, you already know that about me. I own upwards of like 60 some foundations at this point, and I usually end up mixing a lot of them. I don't really have like one that I like to wear all by itself. I feel like making that foundation cocktail is like my specialty. That's what I love to do. But for today's video, we are going to be trying the Born This Way matte foundation all by itself, even though it's the wrong tone. So I have a bad habit of buying foundations online, and because of that, I have a lot of foundations that are not the right tone for me. So let me give you a little bit of backstory about this foundation. This says it is a 24-hour undetectable super long-wear foundation. We'll see about that. It's oil-free, oil-controlling, waterproof, and transfer resistant. We're going to test that out and see how true that is. So reading off the box here, it does have several key ingredients that are supposed to help with the longevity of this foundation. It says it's infused with coconut water that aids in delicately replenishing skin's moisture levels. Okay. Alpine rose helps empower skin's health and resilience. And hyaluronic acid gives a smoother, more youthful appearance. None of those things talk about making it long wear. So this is a $40 foundation, which is crazy, but most higher-end foundations are pretty pricey, so that's where we stand with that. So I did get the shade Pearl, which is not a perfect shade match. As you can tell, it's going to be a little too dark for me, but I'm going to do my best to make this work, make it look halfway decent. I'm not going to show you guys the process of primer and powder and concealer and all that jazz because I don't see the point in doing all that. I just want to make this video about the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my trusty primer. I'm going to be using products that I always use. That way I know how they normally work with my foundation routine. So the primer that I'm going in with is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer. This is currently my favorite primer because it does help keep my skin matte longer. And it does kind of blur a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. And then we're going to put this foundation on top. Okay, so what I typically like to do when I'm doing a foundation wear test or using a foundation for the very first time, I like to take a beauty blender and apply it on one side and then do a brush on the other side, just to give me an idea of, what I like better for the application process for that specific foundation. So I have like your typical beauty blender, and then I have the BK Beauty 101 foundation brush, which has quickly become one of my favorite foundation brushes. Now, I had already applied it to the right side with the beauty blender and then realized I wasn't filming. So that's why my sponge looks dirty. But I'm going to go ahead and do it again. I did lay down the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer. So let's try this again. We're going to just do one of these numbers on this side. And I'm going to blend that in with my beauty blender. So, reading the Sephora website, it says that this is a medium coverage foundation. Typically, I like full coverage just because I have a lot of skin imperfections. But I can usually make a medium foundation work as well. Sometimes we can build it up a little bit. It's definitely not the right shade match, but we knew that. We knew it wasn't. I'm going to drag this down the neck. Try to blend it in a little bit better. Don't know what the hell's going on with my skin, but it's not happy with me, apparently. All right, we're going to put a little bit of that on the forehead. I don't like to go too crazy on the forehead because it'll settle in all those wrinkles. Not attractive. But we do want to see how bad it settles, so. And it's not the right tone, so I have to put it on the forehead. What in the hell? Yeah, there. As it is right now, it did even out my skin tone pretty well. I mean, you can see this side, how angry she is. We got a lot of like discoloration here from sunspots. We got the acne, a lot of fun stuff. And then over here, it's not totally covered. Like you can see little bit of mess there. We can see some redness. Let's try to build that up just a little bit and see what happens. I usually have trouble getting it to stick to this area right here, and I don't know why. It's actually kind of strange. Yeah, that's way off in tone. Okay, now that I have that laid down, let's go to the other side. I will say that it looks very skin-like so far. Hasn't fully set yet, so that could change. Let's do a brush on the other side. If you guys hear the cicadas outside my window, sorry. They like to sit right in the tree outside my house and chirp very loudly while I'm filming. It's like they know. Trying to sabotage my YouTube channel. I mean, upon like close inspection, I think they both look the same. Oh wow, so I'm looking like up close here where I added that extra coverage, and it is really settling in all those lines. Let me scooch so you can see what I'm talking about here. Can you guys see that? Doesn't look the greatest. So I would say with a brush, as long as you do like one light layer, not too bad. If you use a sponge and you try to build up coverage, it's gonna look rough, to say the least. It just looks really heavy and cakey, and it feels heavy, like it feels like I've got a mask on my face. It's not a good feel. I think what I'm going to do is remove this side yet again, and I'm going to apply it with a brush, just a light layer. That way I can move on with my makeup routine, because this is not doing it for me. So originally I had the sponge, this side. Tried to build up on the sponge side. It looked very cakey and heavy, as you saw. So I wiped that off, redid the primer, and went back over with the BK Beauty 101 brush. It settles into all of my lines, and it is definitely a matte foundation. They're not lying about that. But if you have more mature skin, if you have deep set wrinkles, if you have a lot of texture, this is really going to emphasize all of that. I'm almost nervous about like laying concealer down over top of this, just because of the way it reacted when I tried to build upon itself. It was not a pretty pic. It just wasn't pretty. Like, I don't know what it's doing down here, but I don't usually have that problem. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my concealer, my whole face. I'm going to put my whole face on, and then when I come back, I'll show you what the end product looks like, and we'll do a wear test, and we'll see just how long this foundation wears. Alright, so this is the finished makeup look after I got the rest of my face on, and it took me forever. Like, I've been doing my makeup now for probably 3 hours or so. What time is it? It's 6:30. I sat down to film at like 2. So I've probably had this foundation on now for about 3.5 hours, maybe a little bit longer. So this happened in a prior video where I had to film with like one contact in and one out, because I'm blind if I don't have at least contacts in, or if I'm wearing eyeglasses, whatever. So had to do that again with this video. Had to take this contact out because it felt like there was something jabbing me in the eye. So it's been a challenge getting this look going, because I can't really see what the hell I'm doing. So I'm going to get like up close and let you know what I see now that the makeup's been on my face for close to 4 hours. It's had time to settle. I will tell you, I am extremely matte, which is surprising to me. I'm very surprised that my oils are not starting to peek through. Any shininess that you see on my forehead, I mean, it's some oil, but a lot of it is the bronzer and stuff I use too, because I used an Hourglass Bronzer and it's got a sheen to it. I can see some oils peeking through, but not as much as I normally do when wearing foundation. Especially like around the nose and like the mouth and chin area. I'm kind of surprised I don't have more oil poking through. So that's a plus. I would say for oily skin, this is good for that, because it's very matte. However, it was a total struggle coming up with this look, because this shit is very heavy, okay? It's very heavy. It cracks in every little place, like down around here. I can't even explain it, but there's so much cracking down here. The little smile lines around my mouth, even the ones that I'm not used to like seeing pronounced, this definitely made them more pronounced. So this is by far not my favorite matte foundation, but it's a matte foundation. A lot of matte foundations will do that. They will make your skin look older. They'll settle in all those lines and wrinkles, so it's kind of to be expected. Let me just scooch forward. I don't know if you guys can even really see what I'm talking about because I threw an ass ton of powder on my face after I got done, but that's what I always do. So I wanted to keep this very true to my everyday makeup routine with the concealer and putting powder on my face, all that stuff. I did everything the same as what I would normally do. And I don't think it looks, at this point, I don't think it looks too crazy compared to my normal routine. But I can tell you right now, before I put that powder on my face, it was rough. You could see the patches of foundation. But if you're not into that extra makeup routine where you have to add a bunch of other stuff on top and you're just going for foundation, I would probably steer clear of this because it was patchy, it was heavy and cakey. It's just not my favorite. This is definitely something that I'll have to mix in with other foundations. I feel like if I mix this in with something that was more natural or even more satin or glowy, this would kind of help to tone it down and maybe neutralize it a little bit for me where I could wear it a little longer. So that's what I'm going to end up using this for. That's not a foundation I'm going to ever wear on its own. It just... no. I will say though, now that it's had time to sit and kind of mesh with the powder and I guess my natural oils and whatnot, I don't think it looks terrible. It's kind of odd. I don't want to have to fight with a $40 foundation. I shouldn't have to. Maybe I need to prep my skin in a different way, but I prepped it today the way I always do. Just know if you have mature skin, if you have wrinkles and fine lines and texture, I would just steer clear of this. I don't think it's going to be good for your skin. That's just my experience. This is my opinion. Everybody's skin type is different. Everybody's opinions are different on foundations, so take it with a grain of salt. That's just how I feel, and this is a first impressions. It does say 24-hour undetectable super long wear foundation. Now, are those claims true? 24-hour, I don't know. I'm not wearing this shit for 24 hours. That would be tragic for my skin. Not doing that. I will wear it, however, for a few more hours for you guys. Undetectable, bullshit. Bullshit. This is not undetectable. You can definitely see that there's makeup on my skin. No. Super long wear, again, we're gonna test that claim out and see what I think in a few hours from now. So, I'll see you guys here in a few hours. I've had this makeup on now for almost 7 hours, which is as long as I can go today because I do have to get up early for work and it's getting late. This is what the skin is looking like right now. Just a little oily. I don't know what happened there. Whoops. It just looks a little bit oily. Nothing outrageous. So I gotta say, okay, for having this on for almost 7 hours, this is really good. This is really good as far as oil control. It's too bad that it's so patchy when you first put it on because otherwise, this would be a fantastic foundation. This looks really good, all things considered. It does look a little bit oily though, on my chin. Right here in the middle of my forehead, it looks really oily. Right here along my nose. But again, I've seen much, much worse from other foundations that I have. So, I don't know, that kind of changes my opinion a little bit. But you're really going to have to work to make it look nice by piling other makeup products on top of it. At least in my experience. Maybe you won't have that experience. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's something I did along the way to make it do that. I have no idea. But overall, it's not horrible by any means. I'm really shocked at how decent it looks. It really settled into this line. Foundation always does that. It doesn't matter what it is. I would definitely say that this is transfer resistant. I don't know about waterproof. Should I throw water on my face and see what it does? Maybe we need to do that, huh? Let's do it. Let's put water on my face and see what happens. Okay, this is probably going to be really stupid because I'm going to have stuff everywhere, but I'm going to spray water all over my face and we're going to see what it does. We're going to see if this is really waterproof. All right. Got a little towel. This probably isn't very smart. It's white. Maybe I should take the lipstick off. Y'all want to see if the lipstick is waterproof too? Ready? Oh, I'm scared. Why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. It takes my damn breath away. Oh yeah? It's like running through the sprinkler. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to dab it. I'm supposed to let it dry. says waterproof. One more? Oh, shit. Well, the mascara is certainly not waterproof. I mean, I've got water dripping off my face, y'all. See it? Do I need to dab? Oh, it's beading up off of my face. I don't know. I'm afraid to, like, touch my face with the towel. Get the fuck out of here. Did I just say... I just dropped the F-bomb. Okay. Y'all, I'm shocked. Like, what? Stop. I mean, my eyeshadow's not even running, and I sprayed that shit right in my eyeballs. Like, I wouldn't go, like, swimming with this makeup on or nothing. Y'all, this shit's waterproof. You guys saw how much water I just sprayed on my face. It wasn't like it was one spray. I sprayed it continuously. Two-faced. Okay. It looks just as good as it did. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks just as good as it did before I sprayed my face with water. Holy shite. Lipstick holding strong. Base makeup holding strong. I am floored. I didn't think it was going to be waterproof. Well, if it's ever raining outside, I know what foundation I need to be wearing. That is totally insane. Am I crazy? Y'all are going to have to tell me if I'm crazy. Can you all see it? My eyeshadow's still on. The eyeshadow I didn't do anything special with. I just have the NARS eyeshadow base on and some Davina pressed shadows and some Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows. That's what's on the eyes. The eyeshadow is still holding strong. I had it in my eyes. I had it all over my face. The makeup is still intact. I'm freaking mind blown. Totally mind blown. So, yeah, it's waterproof. It's transfer resistant. Usually when you see those claims, they're not true. Maybe it has something to do with me setting the shit out of my face with that Nakia Joy powder, because I did that as well. But regardless, I am floored. Like, are you kidding me right now? How? How does my base still look flawless? I mean, this foundation just went up a few notches in my book. Wow. I don't think I know any other foundation that would have held up this well to being sprayed in the face like that. And then, wow. That is the conclusion of this wear test. Is this a foundation that you guys have been considering picking up? If so, let me know down below. Or if you already have it, let me know and let me know what you think about it. I'm interested to hear your all's thoughts and opinions on this foundation. If you've made it this far in the video and you're not already subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button before leaving today. Also, while you're at it, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you're notified of all my future uploads, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.